Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab, good evening, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers at Motherhood Club. In continuation with our series of celebrating Women's Day, we got a few inputs from our members of Motherhood Club that why should we only hear women's opinion on Women's Day? Why not men? And we were like, show me the man who has broken the biases, and we would love to talk to that person. Well, there are many, and I'm sure there are many who we also know. But with us today is a man who I feel is someone who is absolutely dignified, extremely polite, humble, and has lots and lots of regards for women. This gentleman needs no introduction. I think his name in itself is an identity, and many of us know him. He is Dr. Munish Jindal, the man who's brought robotics into our country. I have, when I was going through his profile, I was falling short of words in my mind as to how do I introduce this man. At a very young age, he has achieved so much. And I am not talking about the numerous accolades that he has to his credit. But I think what is important is that the humbleness, the humility, the approachability that he has after having achieved so much is commendable. And I would like to tell everybody this, Dr. Jindal, that one message went to you from my side requesting you to be on Motherhood Club. And all I got to hear was, yes, I would love to be here. A thorough gentleman you are, and I am feeling absolutely privileged to host you at the Motherhood Club. So, once again, a very warm welcome to Dr. Munish Jindal at Motherhood Club. I am the founder and the Chief Strategy Officer, Motherhood Club. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. Namaste to all the viewers and the entire audience. And I'm indeed privileged, Akta ji, that you invited me and you being so thoughtful to consider me part of the Motherhood Club and having me at your incredible prestigious show. It's indeed a privilege for me. And when we talk about women, it's incredible. So thank you so much for making me part of it.
Thank you so much. I think the start in itself is conveying a lot of messages that there are so much of regards that Dr. Jindal has for women. We will talk about your robotics journey a little later, but before that, educate, empower, elate, a concept which is very similar to what we are also trying to do here. My philosophy is educate, empower, enlighten. So just the last word gets changed. I guess they pretty much mean the same. You were the one who spoke about this in India, and perhaps at the time where there wasn't much focus on this. So, what gets you passionately involved in education, in empowering, in the concept of elating? And he is someone who believes in making others rise. What's the story behind this?
See, well, there is a saying that when you reach somewhere in your life, we need to pay back, right? We need to give back to people. So there is an option: either we give them for bread or we make them the bread earners. So with this MENTORx, we the vision is to educate, to empower, to elevate. So, and regardless of your age, your geographies, your demographies, your gender, wherever you are, we are there to help you, to handhold you. We are basically the ecosystem enablers, whereby on one side there are mentors, coaches, trainers, educators, academicians, and on the other side there are mentees, students, youth, women, corporates who are looking for guidance. So it's like hand holding both of them, and any kind of skill set they want to develop outside the traditional shackles or barriers of our education system. If anyone wants to have their own startup, they need idea polishing, bootstrapping, incubators, mentors, industry leaders, funding, we're there for them. Then if someone who wants to get elevated to new level in life, we're there for them. Our basic, the only single vision behind this is that we are there to fulfill all your dreams and wishes. And that we're doing for all the 8 billion people on earth. Currently, we're operating in 65 countries. And by this year end, we're going to be in all the 200 countries in the world.
Wow.
And when you're talking about women, we have a wonderful initiative called MENTORx Women. Wow Women, it's a global sisterhood solidarity movement whereby we are connecting women with women. Whenever we do a conference, any meeting, awards, summit, workshops, women, usually they say women walk hand in hand or shoulder to shoulder with men. I say no, women are far ahead now. Women so intellectual, so powerful that they have even surpassed men. And I don't usually talk about gender, I just talk in the sense of humans. Right. But there's one something very beautiful thing I have noticed. Like when you put women in a room, they celebrate life. So that is what we are doing, is we're connecting women with women across the globe. Someone sitting, maybe sitting right now in Delhi, they want to expand their business in India and they need help in Hyderabad or in Bangalore, so we're connecting them with the women in Delhi, Hyderabad. This is small stories, smaller picture. Now imagine someone who wants to expand to Europe, Canada, US, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia. You talk about it and we are there. We're just connecting people with people unconditionally. And there was someone once asked me, oh, how's your mentorx doing? I said, no, mentorx is not mine. Mentorx belongs to everyone. It's an open platform. There are no charges to come and be part of mentorx. So mentorx belongs to all you people. We are just we are just trying to work it out. We are just providing you this ecosystem. We are formulating it across the world for you, but it belongs to each one of you.
Wonderful. That's a beautiful concept that it belongs to everyone and everyone is Mentrix actually. And it is not just Dr. Jindal or Dr. Nancy and all your other leaders in the the management team basically. So Dr. Jindal, when you started to work on this concept, Woo Women especially, since we are talking about break the bias as a theme for Women's Day, did you face any resistance from either of the gender when Woo Woman was started? And I see you have a lot of women also who are a part of the the management team or the ecosystem. So was there resistance?
See, Aktaji, I tell you something. Resistance comes from the kind of energies you feel into. I believe into energies in universe. When we started this with very open mind, open set of energies, positive energies, and we were like, see, this is something we're not going to keep it to us. This is a gift to the humanity, and we're going to give it to all the 8 billion people on Earth. So rather than the resistance, people embraced us with both their arms wide open. I got so much of love. I get so many blessings. I cannot even explain you. So rather than the resistance, it was a people accepted it. They wanted it to happen. So that is why just in a short span of time, we went big, huge. You imagine we started, this COVID happened. We were in India. First wave, we went into 20 countries. Second wave, 35 countries. Third wave, 65 countries. So as of now, the moment I'm talking to you, we're in 65 countries. We went unstoppable. And I assure you, by this year end, whatever it may happen, we're going to be in 200 countries.
Wow, that's actually amazing. 65 countries, and one cannot even imagine the number of women you are connecting and what an impact you are creating on each one of them, where under one platform, you're getting an opportunity to hone up your skills, set up your business, get the funding for it, just about everything that one can imagine. I think when a lot of us who are in our 40s would have started our work or would have started our entrepreneurship journey, no such thing ever existed. Where under one roof you could get, and more so for people who couldn't afford the investment bankers or the private equity space, right? So you actually kind of literally shrunk the world and started connecting a lot of people with each other. That's absolutely commendable. So, when you deal with women, okay, you would also be speaking to a lot of them, on a one-on-one basis. And since there are 65 countries involved, we've still seen that women in India yet not have dared to being entrepreneurs. And for many who are there, most often than not, it is seen that she's just a face, but at the back, it's the man. Do you think this actually is changing? And if so, how can we work more to strengthen that entrepreneurship skills in women?
Wow. See, when we talk about women all across the world, especially in India, are synonymous to sacrifice. They sacrifice a lot. Since their childhood, you can say they keep on sacrificing for their parents, then they get married for their husbands, then the kids. So it's an ongoing journey for throughout their life. And what happens is they lose a direction towards their own dreams. All they need is a bit of a spark. I was in a wonderful conversation. Someone said that, oh, we have launched a foundation in empowering women. I said, what kind of empowerment you gonna give a woman? Women gives life, birth to a life. What kind of empowerment you're talking about? Women are already empowered. The only thing is they just need a little bit of a spark. They are just that, yes, you have dreams and you can achieve it. You can make it happen. And that is what we're doing. I always say that women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent. The only thing is you give them the spark, they can make the castles out of it. And that is what we're doing here, connecting women with women, letting them know so many of MSME schemes, the government of India schemes. I don't know how many of you know now there is a one scheme whereby if any woman who wants to be an entrepreneur, then they can pitch their idea to the government, they get a 6 lakhs funding, they don't even have to return that, right? It's not even a loan, it's a state away funding, right? Grant. And then supposedly if there are women who wants to go and visit exhibition to Europe or to US, the entire expense would be taken care by the government. So there are so many, these are tiny little examples I'm letting you know. There are so many things, like I myself am taking care of Atal Innovation Mission through Niti Aayog. Then I'm the advisor to government of India on robotics and artificial intelligence. I'm looking after Vidyanjali program of Ministry of Education, looking after Business Blaster program of the Delhi government. So we are even asking women that please come forward and be part of all these. And the best part about that is there is no investment involved. That you
Absolutely.
just have to give your dedication and passion. The only thing we require is dedication and passion and focus. When you're talking about the changing scenario of entrepreneurship, the very first notion, as you yourself said, that whenever we think about entrepreneurship, the very first thing comes to their mind is investment. That where will we bring the money from? I say we don't need the money. All we need is passion, dedication, your focus, your perseverance, and your zeal to keep going on. I was 14 when I came to work, right? I started my entrepreneurship journey very early. Then I went abroad. I studied. I did my MBA in Australia. I did my CA from Australia. Then I did my PhD in artificial intelligence and robotics from US. And then I came back to India. I rejected a package of 60 lakhs and a green card to Australia way back in 2005, because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And you won't even believe I launched my company into robotics in 2015 in India just with 35,000 rupees. This is what we do. This is what we make. I don't know how many of the viewers they know this is a hoverboard. So it was like I just wanted to do it by myself. From there on, I started, and the journey in 6 years hasn't been easy, but it has been very accomplishing. We are number one in India now, and we are featured among top five in the world. And right from 35,000 rupees today, it's a multi-million-dollar startup, and it's self-funded. I even rejected the funding because I just believe in innovation. So I just really urge all the women who's over watching this or who's who are going to watch this in the future, that if you really want to do something, start it. Don't wait. If you can fly, then fly. If you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But just don't keep sitting on it.
Absolutely. That's so wonderful a thought that if you can't walk, at least crawl. Because I think these are the things that what Dr. Jindal just said are the same things that we tell our kids as mothers, that take baby steps. It's so okay to make mistake, and I'm so glad that all that you're saying is something which a woman generally tells the child, whether how whatever the age of the child may be. So ladies and gentlemen, the thought process is not gender biased. The thought process is the way it is. Whether it is a man or a woman, we all think alike. What is stopping we women to actually go out when there are so many initiatives that have been taken by the government? There are so many platforms like, and a big platform like MentorX who is willing to handhold you from the very beginning till the time you are successful. What is stopping us? We women really need to think about that. So, Dr. Jindal, it's a very interesting question that's kind of knocking at my door. Uh, if Dr. Jindal was not a man but a woman, would he still be here? And would it be the same journey as it was?
Yes, I will be honest that life has been very kind to me, and I got more than I ever wished for. I'm living it with abundance and loving it with gratitude. So I don't want to change even a single bit of this life. And I have dedicated my life to humanity. Doesn't matter what gender I belong to. I would have been doing the same thing, whatever I'm doing today. And I really, really want to make it big for all the fellow citizens of this world. I see this world as one place, and I see it gender neutral. Even if you people look at Mentorex women, but they don't know I have so many other initiatives: Mentorex Youth, Mentorex Social, Mentorex Biz, Mentorex Education, whereby we are helping students, youth, men, everyone. We are not looking at it in terms of women only. The only part was when I said that Mentorex women is especially dedicated to women, because women love to celebrate life, and that is what I believe in. That life is all about celebrations. So live every moment.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So that leads me to another very interesting question, and perhaps a little critical for a lot of us to understand, because I think that's one of the biases that can be broken here. As you mentioned, that there is Mentorx for youth, there is Mentorx for men and women. Is the concept, the thought process behind each of these segments or business units, if I may call them, any different from what it is for Mentrix women? Is the training, is the grooming, is the mentoring any different for the women's division as compared to the youth and the men?
Yes, see, it is all about the requirements. When you come across youth, youth is entirely different. You have to nurture them. You really, really need to, take care of them like a baby. At every step, you have to handhold them, you have to guide them, you have to connect them with industry leaders, and then their dreams are entirely different. They might come up with a single shot idea that my idea is this. I want to set up this company. How you can help me? Now, whereby on the other hand, when we talk to women, they're already educated, intellectual, they know how the things should needs to be done. The only thing is that I told you that either they have sacrificed a lot, or second thing, they keep on thinking that if I want to start my venture, where the investment would come from, or even if they have the investment, now the third thing that is fearful for them is, what if I won't be successful? I might lose all my money, right? So this is where here every individual has a different needs. So the grooming happens on a need based, on a person. It's not a that okay, one size fits all. No, it's a customized thing. It could be possible that tomorrow, if some one of your viewers, there might be 10 different women who are connecting to us, and we are just throwing same thing to the all time. No, we're going to talk to them, discuss with them, whatever each one's requirement is, it's going to be settled accordingly. And same way, when we're talking about Mentorex Youth, those startups, the youth, they have different requirements. Mentorex Social is all totally to philanthropy. They're underprivileged. They're even animals. We even have tie up with PETA, whereby we take care of the animals, and we say that we shouldn't be eating, drinking anything that comes from animal. We shouldn't be having pets. We should be animal friendly. So this way we have totally different things. And the grooming. Now imagine our youngest client is I think 4 or 5 years. Right, the
Oh,
youngest.
wow.
Yes, yes. Recently, one of my student, Avika Jain, she's 7 now. When she was 6, she represented herself in the Institute of Engineers, a keynote speaker at Institute of Engineers at the age of 6. So the grooming is altogether totally different. So it is like what you need, we're gonna provide you. Even if you don't know, we will take care of that.
That's commendable. At 6, a keynote speaker. I mean, that speaks volume. And imagine if this young girl at 6 is excelling, what a woman she's going to be when she grows up, and she's going to be an absolute rock star. I think that's the power of mentoring, Dr. Jindal. And I think this was missing for many years, the right guidance, the right mentoring, rather than just teaching us those ABCDs and the one, two, three, fours of the world, which perhaps leads to nothing. The whole world, or at least in India, everybody was focusing on scholastic. Nobody was talking about the kind of skill set that is really needed to, grow in life, which is, I mean, it's wonderful to hear these thoughts. It just totally resonates with me, because I also do a little bit of mentoring with kids, and I'm also a financial mentor by profession. Uh, so that leads me to another thing, that you spoke about investment, that a lot of women are worried, where would the money come from, and then, or what if they make a mistake and they lose the money. So how has your experience been in dealing with them, to make them understand that it's okay to make a mistake, or it's okay to lose, or it's, you can manage your money in a very judicious manner? So is there a bias when it comes to women and money in totality?
There's no bias. I won't say that there is a bias. The only thing is that you see, always say that everything either it's gonna be a blessing or it's gonna be a learning, and we learn from our mistakes, right? So if we commit mistakes, we should be happy. The only thing is we shouldn't be repeating the same mistake. We are allowed to do mistakes every day. We should be doing it because we're going to learn from there, but we shouldn't be repeating the same mistake. So if we do mistakes, if we are struggling, if we fail, we should be happy because there's a lot to learn from it. One. Second, there is no quick success, right? There is no overnight success. Anything you start in entrepreneurship, we call it 3 to 4 years of a gestation period. Like imagine go back into our graduation days when we did our graduation. We joined college, 3 years of studies, midnight oil burning, exams. It never happened that after 3 4 months of college we knocked down to our principal's door. Hey, principal sir or principal ma'am, it's been 3 months. I'm coming to college. Give me my degree. No, it doesn't work like that way, right? So same way, I come across so many people. I won't say the women or men in terms of just they're like, oh, we started this company. It's been 6 months. We haven't got the results, or we are not that successful. So it's just 6 months, guys. Imagine the companies, the corporate, it's like a baby. You have given it a birth, and after 6 months, what you're expecting that your baby is going to have a sprint? No. So take it like your graduation degree. And now another point. Imagine if someone fails in their degree, what happens? The next day they go to their mom and they say, "Mom, I failed in the exam. So I'm not going to continue with the degree. No, I'm not going to college." No. What happens? We reappear. So in the real world also, if you have failed, you need to realign. Don't need to shut down the company. No, please. That's the biggest mistake that you're doing. That if you have started a venture and if you have failed, you are just shutting it down. Why? You never started it to shut it down. You never started that venture to put it into the box. You wanted it to be more successful, right? So what you need to do is you need to introspect what went wrong, realign your strategies, make it happen. When I launched my startup with 35,000 rupees, I made few prototypes. People had no clue what this is. I'm being honest. In 2015, even if I used to call them, I said, "Oh, we make hoverboards." Hoverboards? What are hoverboards? And even if I used to place it in front of them, they were like, "What does it do? Does it clean the floor?" I said, "No, hang on. You stand on it. It will take you from one point to another." Then I used to stand on roadsides and I used to ask people, take an experience. It's free of cost. Guys, experience the robots. We used to click pictures, make videos. We used to make it viral across India. From there, whatever money we started making, we kept on pouring into the company back, right? We cut down our expenses almost to zero. And from there on, it's now a multi-million dollar startup. And if I can do it, I'm just another average human being. There's nothing extraordinary about me. There's nothing special about me. I'm just like anyone else. Or I say I'm just average. There are people who are way smarter than me. So I say if I can do it, you can do it even much better. So just stay focused, stay determined that you have to make it happen. Never ever in your life settle for mediocre things because you are meant for bigger things in your life. Imagine the unimaginable. Think of unachievable. Then be unstoppable to make it happen. Every 3 years, I start a new company, work from the ground zero. I am the peon, I am the clerk, I'm the sales guy, I'm the strategist, I'm the operations, I'm the CEO. Right? Even today, if you come down to my office, I myself will make tea for you and serve you. I love doing it. You're my people, right? So never shy away from your work. So every 3 years, right from the bottom, from the peon to CEO, I become. Then put it on autopilot mode, start a new venture. Today, I'm handling 9 ventures in 65 countries.
Wow. That's very, very inspirational. And I don't say it because I'm hosting you, but I genuinely mean it. Because to run 9 setups, to take care of 65 countries is huge. Where do you get the time? 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year. How do you manage this?
So if you're talking about 24 hours, I say that God has been kind. I have got 96 hours. The kind of work I do,
Oh,
people usually do that in 4 days. Plus, earlier I was working 21 hours a day. Now I've cut down a bit. Now I'm working 18 to 19 hours a day. And I say that if you're sleeping 8 hours a day, please stop sleeping 8 hours a day. 6 hours sleep is more than enough. Sleeping 8 hours a day is like you are sleeping one third of your life. One third. Imagine in a gross bigger picture, you're sleeping one third of your life. So make it to cut it down to 6 hours. Then there is a time management. make a scheduler what exactly you're doing whole day. What are the wasteful activities, how you can replace those wasteful activities into productive activities. What if you need to learn, how, what code, what skills that you want to acquire, where, how you can make a time out of it during your day and you can learn. You know, when we I talk to people, the very first thing, oh, I don't have time. And I ask them, hang on, what do you do the whole day? And literally, trust me, if I sit with them, if I just make their scheduler for a week, the productivity is only 6 hours out of 24 hours. And I tell them that now this 6 hours can be converted into 18 hours. So whatever you're doing in 3 days, I can make it happen in one day. So imagine
What you
if,
just, sorry,
yes,
please go
and
ahead.
imagine I'm giving you kind of 3x time. So it is like whatever's going to happen in next 3 years, you can make it happen in a year's time. So imagine whatever's going to going to happen in 30 years, you can make it happen in 10 years.
Thank you for bringing this out. As a financial mentor, this no time. I get to hear from a lot of people, we don't have money to invest. So I also tell them the same thing, that why don't you just sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and actually jot down all your expenses and income, and you will be surprised to know that you have enough and more to actually start your investment journey. And it actually happens. So thank you so much, for reiterating that this is not just for money matters, this is not gender specific, but all of us need to plan, we have to be focused. And here is a man who is telling us this, who believes that everybody needs to rise. So not only is he working to rise from where he is today, but he's also making many others rise through his passion, his motivation, his knowledge, his experience, his guidance, his mentoring. But I want to know what drives Dr. Jindal. What is it that motivates you to do so much and more, and yet have that energy, the positivity, the exuberance that you're exhibiting? I think I can see like 100-watt, many 100-watt bulbs around you. That's the aura that you're creating right now.
So, well, when you're talking about what drives me, it's the happiness of people. When I see people happy, it makes me happy automatically. And, I don't know, people don't understand the concept of giving. Whenever they have to give something, the very first thing they ask is, what's
What do
there
I
in
get?
return for me? Why do you have to get something in return? Why can't you just give, and why don't you leave it to the universe to take care of your things? I just believe in unconditional giving, and you won't even believe, I say life is a full circle. Once you're gonna start giving unconditionally, believe me, I'm not saying it from any book. I'm letting you know from my personal experience. It's been 25 years I've been working. It comes to you 1,000 times automatically. And whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing, you don't know who is connecting the dots in the universe for you. So why can't you do it for others? I was in one of the universities. I was giving a speech, a guest lecture I was taking, and a year down the lane, three students, they called me up. Sir, you came to our university. I was like, guys, I don't remember actually. I keep going to universities. They said, sir, we heard you, and we started our own company. And just in 1 year, we had a break even. It's all because we just and imagine how much happy, you cannot even imagine how happy I was just to listen this, that okay, if I spoke in one of the universities, it gave three students a direction in life. Just in a year span, they had a break even. So whenever I go anywhere, whatever I speak, whatever I do, it's just with one notion that even if one single life can be changed, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And we really have to make others rise. Imagine you have a very nice, beautiful home with all the luxuries, right? You are so happy. And outside your home, it's huge mountains of garbage. Will you be able to live a healthy life? No. Now
Absolutely not.
imagine that you have a wonderful house. All that joining houses are also wonderful. There is a wonderful gardens, valleys, flowers. What would happen? Your home would be full of fragrance. So when we are rising, we literally have to hold the hand of all the people around us. We really, it's our moral responsibility and duty to make them rise. And you know what's going to happen? When they are rising, their fragrance is automatically going to make your life healthy and happy. You need to make sure that people around you are happy, and the right leader is the one who creates other leaders. That is the moral obligation of a leader. Because who's going to carry this legacy forward? If tomorrow I say, oh, Mentorex belongs to me and I'm going to be sitting on top of the board, no one else can come. But what about tomorrow, day after, or 10 years down the line? Who's going to carry forward this legacy? Or who's going to replicate this legacy in other countries, other cities, other states, other provinces? So we need to do is we need to create other leaders, which is missing in the other people. So they really, really need to make sure that everyone is rising around. We are creating the leaders. And another third aspect, if you are asking me, what we're doing is we're coordinating with ourselves. We are making ourselves happy. We are competing with people. It should be vice versa. We should be competing with ourselves. We should be outgrowing ourselves. We should be coordinating with people. Then the last and the least I would say is we are loving the things and we are using the people. It should be again the other way. We should be using the things. We should be loving the people. We really, really, really need to change it. Please, we are not here. There is enough for everyone's need, but there is not enough for everyone's greed. So
Beautifully said.
if each one of you can give it a thought process, start to understand that your life would be more happier and happiness comes from within. That is why we kept Mentorex a totally an ecosystem that belongs to each one of you, and there are no monies involved in that.
Thank you so much for saying all these that you just mentioned, because for a lot of you, you know what Mr. Dr. Jindal has done? In a very simple way, he has taught us a management lesson, which in technical terms would be networking, because the process of networking is not in receiving but actually in giving. The more you give, the more abundance you would have in your life. And what he explained, that you support others, you make others rise, you make sure that there is no garbage in front of your house, and there is a beautiful valley, mountains, bed of roses, etc., etc. That's just a way of creating the butterfly effect, that wherever you go, you connect, you further connect, and you never know where those dots would meet and something beautiful would be created. Right, Dr. Jindal?
Yes, that's correct. Aktaji, tell you very beautiful magic about it is I just believe in unconditional giving. Wherever I go, wherever I walk into, I don't know people, but people know me. And and I just get surprised. How do you know me? And they're like, we just know you. We just been part of one of your programs. We just been one part of one of your speeches. And I'm amazed. And the kind of love, the kind of blessings I get, oh, it's beyond any kind of award. It's beyond any kind of recognition. When people talk about my awards, and I said that those physical awards you're talking, those wooden trophies, mementos you're talking, they are not the awards. The real awards are your people, and when they love you, that is the real recognition. So that is what we should
Absolutely.
strive for.
And that is why I chose not to read out your profile, because I feel that if had I read your profile, perhaps I would have been very artificial, because that is something which obviously we share. We have to create a profile of us, but what I have known you, seen you in action by attending a couple of events where I had the opportunity to hear you. There was a award ceremony where you had announced my name. I am also been lucky to receive an award from MENTORx, also the Dr. Sarvapalli Radha Krishnan Award. And I have been watching you, I have been hearing you on a couple of occasions and platforms. And I think your energy levels are always high. There is always a learning that one gets when one speaks to you. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the humility, the positivity. And I did mention to you that you're extremely polite and generous. If you remember in our conversation on WhatsApp, I did mention that to you. You have respect for everyone. uh, you and I haven't really met in person. We just interacted over WhatsApp, and with my little brief background, but the respect, the regard that you've given is phenomenal. Uh, I want to read out a few comments for you, and especially this one. This is by Mr. Mukesh Bhatnagar. Hail Mentorex Global, a great universal outlook. Many may not be knowing he, with his global team with Dr. Nancy, has very successfully and effectively created Indianness, Bharatiyata around the world. And yes, Mr. Bhatnagar, I completely agree, because I have seen Dr. Jindal feeling very, very proud that he's an Indian. And, I've heard him a couple of times. I've heard even Dr. Nancy also. Wonderful. I mean, how simply you have conveyed so many lessons of management without many of us realizing that he was actually teaching us lessons that a lot of people think that they would get when they do their masters, they do their MBA. But these lessons are in real life, actually. And being successful is not about being boastful. I think being successful is the humility, is the human touch that you bring forward. And Dr. Jindal, I think you completely personify that.
Thank you so much.
It's
See,
lovely, lovely hearing your thoughts. And, I'm falling short of questions really to ask you, because you're just answering them without me even asking that, how should women think about they being entrepreneurs, all about networking, because to deal with 65 countries is not an easy task. You're actually creating that network with each one of them. And how you are doing it, you've just explained it so beautifully,
it's just the
right?
love. It's just the love. So it's that is why I said that. mm, when someone comes to me, the very first thing I ask is, "What can I do for you?" If each one of us start living our life with this attitude, it's called attitude of gratitude. Life is going to be much easier and much more happier. Rather than asking, "Hey, what did you bring for me?" or "What's there on the table for me?" Ask them that, "What can I do for you?" And whatever is there in your human capabilities, please do it for them. Start doing it. Do it initially for 3 4 months, 6 months, and see the kind of magic that unfolds around you. See how people love you. See how your things are getting sorted without you have to even do anything. I have just this phone. I just today I feel I'm so blessed that just even one touch of a message, just even if I send someone a message, my work gets done. Don't even have to do anything else, because it's the kind of love, kind of the sheer blessings I get from people. So each one of you can do it. Each one of you be a blessing in others life, right? And this is the times that we're living in. It is really, really, really required. And when you read Mukesh ji's message, I'm grateful that Mukesh ji holds me in such high regards. Mukesh ji is also part of MENTORx, and he's the honorary mentor with us at MENTORx, and we hold in high spirits. And there's a lot to learn from him as well. And when you're mentioning about Bhartita, yes, India is deeply embedded into my system. I went to study in Australia in 2005. They gave me the green card as well as 60 lakhs package. I rejected everything. Came back to India. I was like, whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start from India itself. Because this is this reminded me of a song that भारत का रहने वाला हूँ भारत के गीत सुनाता हूँ.
So we've heard the mentor, Dr. Jindal, right? I'm going to shift the conversation towards just Munish. Okay. Um, what is Munish actually? Or who is Munish
Wow.
besides the work?
Besides the work, I'm still a kid. I'm still a kiddo. I forgot to grow up. So I still love to play, dance. I love to spend my time with kids. And when if you see me with the kids, playing with them or talking to them, you might feel something's wrong with this guy, because then you will find I'm just 5 or 6 years old, right? Playing with them, having fun with them, and love adventure sports, flying, car racing, golfing. Did recently did skydiving as well. So I'm
Wow.
like, whatever you want to do in life, just do it.
Go for
Don't be fearful, right? So someone asked me that, okay, if you jump from a plane, what if the parachute didn't open? And I said, then I won't even get to know about it. So why do you think about it?
it. So true.
So
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 true.
just live life to the fullest. Life is there to live. Never be fearful of your life or about anything. And the more you're gonna live life, the more there is with the life to offer you. Your life is gonna give you much more. Just keep living it unconditionally without any worries, stress. That's not gonna give you anything. And the best part is when you're gonna live happy, you're never gonna get tired. there was a time during the second wave when I was working 44 hours. I used to sleep alternative nights because we were taking care of the education system in Italy. The education minister in Italy requested us. We're teaching the kids in Italy. Was teaching kids here in India. So there were so many things going on. But I never felt tired. Never. I was just sleeping 4 hours after 2 days. And so it's all about because I was getting so much of love and blessings from the people. And imagine if I can do it, why cannot you do it? I feel each one of you is much more intellectual, much more blessed, much more intelligent than me. And today, the possibilities are endless. That is the best part, you know. Uh, in my times, if you talk about my childhood, the biggest luxury used to be landline phone. We had to wait for 4 years to have a landline phone. And now today, imagine one new connection can be activated in a span of 4 minutes. You go down to a store, mobile store, and ask them for a SIM card in 4 minutes. Even not even 4 minutes, 40 seconds, it gets activated. So, if at that time there was no Google, now imagine how fast-paced the information is getting exchanged. So you can do anything that you wish for. The all you need to do is think unimaginable and then be unstoppable for that. Please, if you're hearing this, I'm not talking about any bookish things, or I'm not talking something that you might feel that, okay, I have achieved, I'm sitting on the other side now, so that is it is easier for me to speak. But imagine a 14-year young old lad who has been going to his school and side by side running a motor parts unit, right? And then I funded my entire education in Australia, and then from there on ground zero I start new companies. And it is my experience that is talking, and each one of you can make it happen. And if you need any help, we are available 24x7 for you.
Absolutely. Anju Patraji is saying he has wide vision, support others, and blessings always work. Global MENTORx. And she's also saying कि जिंदगी के सारे रंग जीते हैं आप.
True, very true. I'm blessed that Juji has introspected me and she could see the human inside me, and that's true. I say that when people ask me colors or which is your favorite color, you know what I say? I say rainbow. life is
So sweet.
life is a rainbow. Live all the colors to the fullest, and do whatever pleases you. Keep your soul nurtured and satisfied and happy, and there is no age to learn something new. Keep on learning. Life is all about learning. Learn to learn, continuously learn, and unlearn to learn. Sometimes we have to forget few things and acquire the new skills. Even today also I learn, and I write as well. I used to read a lot. I'm the founder of Ludhiana Book Club as well. I organize 6 literature festivals as well. And now I have written 12 books, which I never thought in my
Wow.
life. Right. You know, my first book, how it started, I just started writing half a page or a page every day. And people also, I come across people, they're like, and especially women, they're like, oh, we have husband, we have family, we have kids, and we are doing our venture as well. Where is the time to write a book? I said, okay, can you write half a page? They're like, yes, half a page we can say. I said, okay, then just keep writing half a page and talk to me after a year. If you keep writing half a page, after 1 year, you will be having 170 pages, and I will get your book published.
Exactly. I think it's all in the mind. We have more no's to the answer than a yes to the answer. And we are we are looking for more problem than actually looking for solutions.
Yes,
And you
that's
are
correct.
only
You,
solution, solution, solution.
in one line, you have summed it up that we are focusing more on a problem rather than the solution.
Absolutely. Wonderful. But this is a question you may choose not to answer if it is too personal. You mentioned earlier and you mentioned now also that you started to work when you were 14. Was it out of choice? Was it a compulsion? Or
It
there
wasn't
was
a
an
competition.
instinct?
It was like I needed more money to spend on myself. I used to get 2 rupees as pocket money, right? And then I asked for 20, raised to 20 rupees, and they said, "Kai, man, these are the keys to our motor parts unit. You run it. If you run it into profits, it's yours. If you run it into losses, we'll take it back." And
Whoa.
yes, so it was like yes. Then I went on shop floor, top floor foreman. That you need to guide me, and we're gonna work together. You won't even believe I started working with him on the shop floor, that how the entire manufacturing is happening. Then I started procuring the raw materials, and that at that time through one of the vendors I got an order from Germany, and we did it big. And I started making so much of money. And imagine a guy who wanted just 20 rupees, and I there was a time I used to have 20,000 in my pocket at that time. Yes.
Commendable.
I won't say it was a compulsion. Rather, again, as Anju Quadraji mentioned. I live all the colors. It was just to enjoy all the colors of life that it drove me towards that. And the best part about that is that then entrepreneurship got into my blood pretty early. Then I joined my dad into our coal mines business as well. Then I moved abroad, studied there. I had worked there as well for one of the companies. I was looking after 35 retail stores, and I was the first human ever in Australia who got a satisfaction score of 100 out of 100. They said it never happened in their organization. And there I trained. I joined them as a management trainee. When I walked out of that organization, I had trained 150 employees over there in their organization.
Wow.
Then I came back to India, started. Then again, my dad wanted me to join his companies. I said, no, I don't want to join your companies. I will start my own. Howsoever it takes, whatever it takes, howsoever long it takes, whatever, even if it's going to take my blood and sweat. So that is how it paved way towards HoverRobotix, my robotics organization. I'm happy because since childhood I was very fascinated towards technologies, the science fiction movies, and then launching my own company. I never knew I would go. We would go so big that we're gonna be, number one in India. We're gonna be among top five in the world. We're gonna be getting featured next to NASCOM. And now recently, one of my book got featured in Forbes, right? So I'm very happy, and from there on the journey started unfolding. Now I'm not keeping this knowledge to me, and I'm sharing this knowledge with others. So that took me to writing 12 books, 4 patents, copyrights, and delivering guest lectures in the universities. So altogether it's kept on growing, and the universe started kept on becoming bigger.
You forgot to mention poetry.
Poetry, yes, I've done. I have written a couple of poems as well, and recently we've been part of a Hope anthology as well with Nidhi Bansalji. So we,
That's at Motherhood Club. That's the
yes,
Motherhood Club of
yes,
Anthology.
we
Yes.
contributed to that as well. So
Yes.
whatever. So this is again another color. So whatever comes my way, I never say no. The only thing I don't know is how to say no. So it is like if they say, "Can you?" If I say, there's a very beautiful this thought written by Richard Branson, the CEO of Virgin Atlantic. He said that if someone asks you to do something, even if you don't know it, accept it, then go back, learn it, and do it.
You learn something new, and that will benefit.
So when someone comes to me and they say, "Oh, you're gonna do this," I was like, "Okay, I will do it." Then even if I don't know it, I go and learn it and do it.
I think this is the essence of the conversation that you have brought out so beautifully. For all those who are watching, who are listening, who would watch this conversation at a later point in time, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your age, don't say no. Accept, even if it is a challenge. You never know, it might open doors for you, it might open opportunities, it might just open a complete Pandora box which you could have never even imagined, and may actually become a new identity. And that is something that has happened to a lot of people during the pandemic. Many entrepreneurs were born in these last 2 years, where they lost jobs, but then that challenge became an opportunity. They've learned, they've understood how to do it. So as they say never, and never give up. Learn, keep learning. I think, Dr. Jindal, that's like the punch that was really needed for a lot of people to hear, that don't say no. Learn. And these days, we keep teaching our kids the concept of education for life. I think it's time that we start telling ourselves that we can't stop just because we have reached a certain age. Here is a man who's sitting in front of us, who at 14 wanted to do something, whatever may be the motivation at that time. But I think the lessons that you would have learned then has actually shaped you into what you are today. That shop floor experience, talking to the grassroots level employees in the organization, and that is why you are comfortable going yourself, making a cup of tea and serving to your guest, or doing the work from a CEO to a clerk in the organization. I think those experiences are very important. What we tell our kids, we also need to experience it ourselves. And I think that humility, that humbleness, till we keep it within us, we'll never fail, is what I feel. So
It's more about gratitude. Always be grateful to for what you have in life, because wherever you are sitting today, there are millions of people who want to live that life. So rather than be complaining into it, start complimenting it that you have a wonderful
Absolutely.
life. Be grateful.
Let
Then whatever you want to achieve, work for that. There is no bigger dream that you can achieve. You can achieve anything that you want in life.
Absolutely. Let's not begrudge, but let's have an attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing talking to you, Dr. Jindal. I would, love to keep this conversation going on and on, but I do understand that, you would have slotted the time for this conversation and we must respect time. So before I let you go, that one piece of advice, and this is one of my favorite questions to most of my guests, that what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to everybody? Because I'm not going to generalize this or categorize this man, women, youth, kids, whoever, but that one piece of advice that you would want to give to a human that can make a difference and create that magic for them.
So when you're talking about a message to a human, be human. Don't be a machine. Be human, right? Live your happy life. Be grateful towards that. Make others rise. Don't be a machine. Don't be stressful. Rather than, I tell you, before we go, I tell you a very wonderful thing about our lives. You know how life works? It is all about energy. We all are, each of us are connected in this universe. So whenever we want to do something in life, if we are thinking on a positive note, we give all the positivity. Believe me, it's going to happen all positive. Till the time we don't let our universe know that it can go wrong. Take an example. If we place a glass on an edge and we say it will fall down, 99% of the time that's going to fall down.
It's going to fall
Because
down.
now we told our universe that it can fall down. Before that, the universe didn't know that yes, it can fall down. So please focus on all the positivity in your life, all the good things, all the wonderful things, all the things that can go right in your life, rather than focusing on the wrongs or the negatives. No, all you need is positive, all you need is goodness, all you need is the results. So think on those terms. And once you start thinking, you're gonna think on those terms, then work on those. I assure you, you will never have stress in your life, you will never have tiredness in your life, there will be no negativity, there will be no failures. You will have all the wonderful moments in your life. And rather than striving for success, strive for excellence in your life.
Absolutely. Success will come, but excellence is what we need to focus on. Absolutely. There is a question, actually, I forgot to ask you. That question had come, and I had also mentioned that I will speak about a little bit about the robotics also. Um we've heard your journey, so we've got an idea as to how you've made it big in that space. The question is that the products that you have, uh, are they priced in a way that they could be expensive for the middle class and the kids who come from the weaker section? And if is there a way that you're working on that can become more affordable for them in the years to come?
Yes, if you talk about the day when we started, imagine the product that used to cost around a lakh has come down to 18,000 today, right? So when we're talking about robotics, this hover robotics is all about that we are not only carbon neutral company, we are reducing the carbon footprints. How I can quickly let you know that when we have to go from one place to another or we have to go back to nearby market, what we do is we take out our car or a bike, we burn petrol and diesel, and we create pollution. We need to reduce our dependency on petrol and diesel cost. We are importing it. India doesn't have its own crude. One second, pollution is not good. So we made them electrically rechargeable, no petrol, no diesel, no pollution, right? And it moves with your thinking. You stand on it, you think to go forward, right, left, backwards, whatever you think, it moves because it moves with your body reflex. Now, when you're talking about affordable, yes, we have made it very affordable. Now we are even working on a flying one. We have already made it, but it's so expensive that it's not affordable. So now we're working to make it affordable. Now, when you're talking about economically weaker sections, then we do have subsidies, rebates in place, right? That are in the favor of economically weaker section. And then what we're doing is we are doing certified robotics AI skill development workshops as well, and they are totally free of cost for economically weaker section.
Wow, that's awesome. That's very good. Superb. So you are actually taking care of everything, right? And I'm so glad
It's
that
not me that I would say it's not me that is taking care of everything. It's my universe and my people around me. All of you, you are my people, you are my clan. And I said they take care of me, and things automatically happen. Whatever I want to do, I just manifest it in the universe, and my people, they take care of it.
Absolutely. I think that is the secret of the magic. And absolutely a pleasure talking to you, Dr. Jindal. And thank you so much for being here at the Motherhood Club, also for contributing to that hope anthology, which has been, created for cancer patients to create hope for them. You're an integral part of that. And thank you from the entire team of Motherhood Club, which is Ila Divedi, Monica Goel Divan, Pooja Dikshit, and myself. We are grateful, and we will soon be hearing Dr. Jindal talk about a little different aspect very soon. We will be sharing the details about that. I'm not going to leak out the secrets right now, but you will see him perhaps in a little bit of a different avatar, and we leave it at that. So, thank you. We are very, very grateful for you being here. Wonderful talking and wonderful lessons that you have left for all of us to ponder over, to think, irrespective of men or women. And I think that in itself is breaking the bias that let's look at life to the fullest. Let's not begrudge, have an attitude of gratitude. Thank you so much, Dr. Jindal. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ektaji. With my folded hands, the soul within me honors the soul within each one of you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet you soon, very soon, on another interesting conversation. We will be sharing the details with you all. Till then, stay safe, take care. Don't forget to wear your mask because the pandemic has still not gone. Once again, Ekta Sehgal signing off for today. We were in conversation with Dr. Munish Jindal and we loved it to the core. Thank you so much. Bye bye.